Sup, Buzznet? In reference to the podcast, here again for Freaky Friday.
Freaky, yeah.
Yeah. I am Amanda.
I'm Heather.
I'm the better half.
No.
But see, the best part is I can edit anything in
That's fair.
of you, like I could edit out everything up to that's fair. And one, you'll probably never know, and two, nobody else is gonna know that it was edited, so... Anyway.
Yeah.
That's fair, I know.
I wasn't...
You're like, shit, now I have to watch what I say. I won't. I'll just edit in you saying I'm the best.
No.
I don't think at the end of True Crime Tuesday I asked you what you had for us, so I know.
That would be because I did not know what I was doing at that point.
We did. This should be your Yorktown.
Oh yeah, because I already had it done. That's right.
Yeah, because we were going to record 2 episodes and then I didn't get home till like fucking 11 o'clock at night. And it is so obvious because you're so quiet. Like, I had a hard time hearing you at some points because you were like, I just have to be quiet to not talk to my parents. Or not wake my parents up. And I was like, when I started editing and I like put in the Sup Buzznet, it was like, Sup Buzznet, I'm Heather. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And I could tell we were both tired because your laugh was your... So.
I took a nap, so I should be good.
Oh, jeez. I wish I could have taken a nap.
It wasn't intentional. I was watching How It's Made, and his voice just kind of knocked me out.
Always. Although, I say always, even though, like, sometimes when I put it on to fall asleep, that's when I get real interested in it.
Hulu only has 3 seasons of it.
Yes, I know.
And there's none of, like, the good ones, like how you make crayons. Like... Although I did get to learn how they make the brakes for the bottom of zip lines.
I don't think I want to know that.
It's a lot. Even though, the one I had didn't work.
It worked, it just...
It shot me back out. It's like, we don't want this one.
We were all, like, halfway down, basically. Not really, but we just, like, didn't fucking care. Like, meh.
I feel like they need to put, like, a hand thing that you can slow yourself down so you can enjoy it.
Yeah. That was a scary zip line.
Because, we're like, as soon as we started, I was like, why am I going faster than everybody else?
But, like, that one compared to the one over Old Vegas was so much scarier.
I feel like that one was longer and lower.
Yes.
And we probably could have survived that fall.
True. I don't think it was longer necessarily. I don't think that the decline, the slope, if you will, was as steep.
But yeah, the length one was like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah. And I was like so excited for it, and then we got up there and I was like,
And Kev's like, we're gonna die. We're like, we're not gonna die. And then they're like, you need to sign this waiver. And he's like, no, that's because we're gonna die.
Oh my god. I miss him. I wish he was my friend and not Colin's friend. I mean, he could still be Colin's friend, but, like, I wish Kev and I could be friends. Like, I wish we could text and be like...
You probably could.
Probably, but then I'll get, like, a 5-paragraph essay of why he didn't respond for 7 months.
That's fair. Okay. We're gonna learn about the Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
Is it in Yorktown? Did you legit have to look?
I did. I didn't write where.
It's literally called the Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
That's
Where
fair.
else would it be?
You never know.
That would be like, I don't know, the prison in Crescent being called, like, Cleveland Prison.
Hey, it was CIS. No. SCI. Okay. Back to ghosts.
Yeah, let's talk about ghosts.
My info came from Wikipedia and Ghost Adventures, hauntedrooms.com, which I feel like is just a given anymore. nationalparanormalsociety.org, hauntedplacestogo.com, texashillcountry.com, and shadowpeeps.com.
Shadow Peeps.
The Yorktown Memorial Hospital was founded by the Felician Sisters of the Roman Catholic Church, which started in 1855. The nuns were, this is in quotes, inspired by the lives of St. Francis of Assisi, St. Clare, St. Felix of Cantalic.
I was going to make a comment about Assisi.
Assisi, Cantalic.
Oh my god. We're the worst Catholics ever.
There's another stamp on the card.
Oh my god.
And Blessed Mary Angela.
Oh, not just Blessed Mary, but
no.
Assisi.
So they were all inspired by the lives of all of them.
Oh.
To help those in need through dutiful service and care. The hospital construction started in 1950 and officially opened in 1951. So very, very fast.
They were efficient. It was like Extreme House Makeover or Extreme Home Makeover.
What? You have a week. It was 30,000 square feet with administration offices, 2 wings of hospital rooms, a chapel, and a second floor for living quarters for the staff, and a basement. There's
30,000 square feet a lot?
I don't... In today's standard for a hospital, I'm gonna say no. Because I feel like Jeffree Star's house is bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how big 30,000 square feet is. I hate when people are like, how big's your room? I'm like, I don't know. Big enough to fit my bed in it.
You're like, I can walk.
Yeah.
Their slogan was, that more may live longer.
Ew, I don't like
that. The Korean War was still going on, so they built a hospital since there wasn't any nearby, and the closest one was in San Antonio, which was 79 miles away.
Not in San Francisco.
No, that's way more than 79 miles away.
Are you sure?
Yes. They funded the constructions from fundraisers, donations, and grants from companies. They added the memorial to the name to honor those from Yorktown who fought and lost their lives in World War II. During the time it was opened, it was said that there were around 50 deaths a year, totaling an estimated 2,000 deaths.
Wait, what?
It was said that there were about 50 deaths a year, totaling, like, the years it was open was 2,000 deaths.
I didn't hear that it already closed.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to that part yet.
Oh, well... Okay. Also
That's the next sentence.
Oh. Also didn't realize we were in Texas. Sorry if you said that. I mean, I did once you said San Antonio, but...
No, I don't think I said it was in Texas.
Oh, okay. Because, like, anytime I hear York, I always think Pennsylvania.
No, there's a town at the end of it.
Well, I know, but I would...
Although I wouldn't put it past them to have York and then, like, Yorktown, like, the next town over.
That's mean.
The hospital was open until 1986.
Wait, pause. Because this is too good not to share. I tried to swipe text Yorktown, and my phone swipe text titties.
How many times are you texting that? That's what it picked.
I don't know, but Yorktown was the second one. Like, you know how on predictive
I feel like
text,
those aren't the same letters.
Yeah. You know how, like, it's like, there's an option, and then there's the middle option that pops up in swipe text, and then there's a third option?
Mm-hmm.
The first option was Yorktown. The one that popped up was titties. I don't know what the third one was. I just, also don't text about titties, so... Also...
Apparently your phone must think about it.
Yeah. Also, Yorktown, if you just put in Yorktown, comes up in Virginia, so nobody would have thought Texas. Except for the people in Texas.
That live there.
Because Yorktown was sieged. Okay, go on. Tell me more.
The hospital was open until 1986, when another hospital opened a few miles away in Cairo, Texas, putting them out of business.
Also, isn't 50 deaths a year like a low number?
That's what I thought.
Like, they really were trying to make people live longer.
But, like, because on the episode of Ghost Adventures, they're like, oh yeah, like 2,000 deaths. But I also feel like from 51, so like 30 years, there was 2,000 deaths.
Yeah, that's not that many.
Like, that's true.
In my opinion. I mean, who am I, but... I just don't think that's that many.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. I'm still listening.
After the hospital closed, it was briefly used as a drug rehab facility for a few years until it was shut down by the state for their inability to control the patients.
Okay.
An example was a patient exited the facility, walked across the road to the feed store, where he slapped an employee across the face.
Same.
This was in 1988, so I guess it was only the drug rehab for 2 years.
1988.
It's now abandoned.
I said shout out to 1988.
It's a good year.
It was, especially in May. Then it went downhill from there.
Now, August was the peak of the year.
Yes.
It's now abandoned, but there's tours, investigation, and events that can be arranged. They didn't say what kind of events, but if it's abandoned, I'm going to assume not like fancy events.
Oh, I thought like somebody's getting married there.
Zach would probably get married there.
No, he would just destroy it.
Yeah. One of the doctors for the hospital was named Dr. Norwiski.
You can say that, but you couldn't say the priest name or saint's name?
No, this one's Norwiski. It looks Polish.
Oh, okay. I'll trust you.
He was older and was practicing medicine into his 90s.
Oh, honey, no, retire.
When he retired, he had the oldest medical license in Texas.
Yeah, no shit, because everybody else was dead.
Well, they found out that he had the oldest one. They're like, they kind of like forced him to retire.
Yeah. He probably couldn't see. He was like probably drawing IVs, like...
Yeah.
Giving wrong doses and shit.
Oh, apparently I'm just like jumping straight into like the haunted stuff. I didn't know.
That's alright.
That's
what we come
There's
here
no
for.
break. When this didn't mean that his patients were safer because he was practicing medicine for so long. He became known for his fatal mistakes during surgeries.
See?
One of them was he accidentally slit the throat of a patient while operating on his thyroid.
Jesus. I'm sorry. Okay, I understand that, like, that might be close together, but, like...
Like, there's a difference between, like, an incision and, like, cutting someone's throat open.
Yeah, how do you accidentally...
Maybe he was
slit
shaky.
someone's throat? Yeah, I guess. Oh, that was a good laugh.
After the doctor died, another doctor said during a shift he swore he saw him walk past the lounge door. The caretaker for the hospital, who's named Mike Hansen, has had many experiences. He said that if the lights at the nurse's station are on, that everything seems normal, but if the lights are off, he has seen dark figures walking around. He said that some seemed like their guests, and others appeared to be patients of the hospital. There were some black figures he saw that he described as being the size of an adult German Shepherd. So, like, not a person at all.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, how big was he? He's like, he's like about the size of an adult German Shepherd.
Also, what a weird, like, size comparison.
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, how tall was he? I'm like, oh, you know, like 5'4", not like...
Like 3 German Shepherds stacked on top of each other.
Right? That's how I'm going to start telling people. Like, people are like, how tall are you?
Just be like, I'm like 4 Brodies.
They're like, you mean feet? No.
No, 4 Brodies tall.
4 Brodies and maybe like a little bit of his head. That's it.
I'm 4 Brodies and a bro.
Right. Exactly. That's it. That is the winner.
He also said that the staircase in the front of the building is kept closed off by a door with a pane of glass. Almost every evening, he said, it sounds like there is a tapping on the glass. The scariest thing he said to have seen was red glowing eyes on multiple occasions.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking scary.
On Ghost Adventures, whenever they got there, like, they couldn't find him. Because he met them, like, because he lives in, like, a trailer, like, outside. Oh. And they're walking around, and all you see is Zach's come booking around the corner because a freaking donkey was chasing him.
That's the most Zach thing I think I've heard.
And he's like, we're looking for ghosts, and he's like, there's this freaking donkey.
Oh, Zach.
Okay, there's a nice spirit at the hospital. Only one. Although, I'm skeptical about it because it's a child. So when I think of a child ghost, I'm like, it's a demon.
That I can see being the size of an adult German Shepherd.
An 8-year-old?
Oh, no, sorry, I missed the age.
I didn't say the age yet. Until now.
Well, then what the fuck? Don't try and call me out for not listening if you didn't even say it. Because I was listening.
She's known as Stacy.
Stacy's mom got it going on?
Maybe. She's a little girl said to be around the age of 8. She is one of the more interactive spirits. When she was alive, her favorite book was The Pokey Little Puppy, and the nuns often read it to her. She has been felt in different areas of the hospital. Sometimes she is in her old room, and sometimes she can be heard playing in the basement hallways.
Ew.
If you sit in the library and read her book, she might come out and let you know that she's here, or you might even see her appear. And it's also been said that if you ask her to roll a ball, that she will.
No.
No, thanks.
I'm not going to ask her to do that, but, I mean, thanks for the offer.
Thanks, but no thanks. Another spirit that is experienced are the nuns themselves. Those who have been in contact say that the nuns can be violent. Visitors have been choked, scratched, or rushed at. And if you have tattoos, you're more likely to be attacked.
Oh, great. I'm fucked.
For Ghost Adventures was there. Because Zach, he's like, I'm gonna have to strip down because he's like, all my tattoos are covered. Because he has like a, I guess like a demon, like in between his shoulder blades. And he took it off. He's just like walking around with his shirt off. Also, men who go to the second floor living area have been attacked because when the hospital was open, men were not allowed up there because it was just for the nuns. And some have captured photos of nuns in their habits. During an investigation, a female investigator said, "Come on, sister, I know you don't like tattoos. What about Catholic girls with tattoos? Because I've got them." And immediately after that, they caught a voice saying, "Going to hell." A man named Doug Richards is a supposed spirit at the hospital. All that is known about him is that he was a heavy equipment mechanic and was injured and died at the hospital in 1973. He supposedly roams the halls, and you'll know it's him if you see him because he is tall and wears a white t-shirt and jeans. When the hospital was the drug rehab center, a man they called TJ came there late at night seeking help, but when he rang the emergency doorbell, no one answered because they closed down at 10.
Oh, okay. Sorry, after 10 o'clock, nobody does drugs. Duh. Everybody knows that.
TJ was found on the steps the next morning, already dead, and his spirit has been seen wandering the halls near the door.
Well, why is he in there? He shouldn't be in there. He wasn't allowed in. He was using drugs after hours.
And if it was still run by the nuns, they're probably like, you don't deserve to be helped.
Poor guy.
The most violent thing that happened in the history of the hospital was a double homicide. There was a love triangle between a female nurse and 2 patients.
Ooh, saucy.
The woman was caught in the boiler room with man number 1, and number 2 stabbed the woman several times, killing her. Number 1 wrestled the knife from number 2 and stabbed number 1 to death. And either in retaliation or self-defense. The blood splatter is still on the wall, and the caretaker had it tested, and it is human blood. So yeah, so it's, like, still there, because I think Ghost Adventures was there in, like, 2012, and there's still blood on the wall. Like, they didn't clean it off, they just left it there. Like, no wonder it's haunted. In addition to these, there have also been orbs, shadow figures, EVPs, and hearing voices with your own ears. On occasion, screams have been heard coming from the ER and the maternity ward. So happy screams and sad screams, apparently.
Yeah.
There are also battery-operated dolls in one of the rooms, which have been caught on camera responding to requests to laugh or talk. Some say that they think it's Stacy or other children making contact. Or, you know, demons. Organ music has been captured while investigating the chapel of the hospital. Investigators have also heard growling from inside the chapel. In the basement, people have been scratched, had things thrown at them, and one woman had a seizure. Oh, I like how I told you all this stuff about Ghost Adventures, and I forgot there's a whole section of that at the bottom.
Great.
On the show, Paranormal Caught on Camera, which is where I got the idea for this episode because of this clip, an investigator was attacked. They said that it was rumored that the nuns were in the hospital, that they didn't believe in pain medication. And I didn't see that part on literally any website of any of the information except for, like, this show. So I don't know, like, if they just like, oh yeah, that'll work. But one of the folklorists confirmed it.
The way you just, like you didn't want to say it. You're like the folklorist.
That's because I knew it was going to sound weird when I said it. The one investigator named Colin was walking and his ears started ringing. And he said that it only ever happens when he's on investigations before something happens. And it did happen.
Oh, did it?
It did. The door behind them in the chapel creaked, and it opened the whole way, and then it swung back shut. And then he was walking to the second floor, and he said his back felt like it was burning. He lifted up the back of his shirt, and there was a deep scratch that drew blood. About 2 inches was bloody, and the scratch was over a foot long. And he was the only one who was attacked out of the whole group, and then they realized that he was the only one that had tattoos.
Also, how tall is he? I feel like a foot is a really long scratch.
Like, it was almost like diagonal across his entire back.
Ew. And I was like, I don't know how long my back is, so it could be a foot. It's probably not, but it could be.
So, if this next section is about Ghost Adventures, I already told you about him stripping down because his tattoos were covered.
Also, just what a douchebag thing to do. Like, oh wait.
Or just word it that way. Be like, I gotta do it stripped down.
But like, nobody
I mean,
cares.
hey, if I looked like him, I'd be taking my shirt off too.
Are you gonna start talking real slow too?
He's a buff guy.
Yeah, but why does he sound like he's buffering when he talks?
I don't know, but when I read that book, I hear it in his voice
I know.
as I read it.
But it's just... I don't know. Anyway. Go on. I don't really hate
Like, I would
the guy.
love to meet... I would love to meet him just to see if he, like, actually talks like that, or if it's just on the show.
But you would have to meet him in a capacity where, like...
Like, literally just, like, randomly, like, bump into him on the street.
Yeah, and, like, he couldn't be there for work or something. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if he's in LA and goes to Starbucks, he's gonna assume people know him, so he's gonna talk like he does.
I mean, sometimes he doesn't, like, if he gets, like, real excited about something, he talks normal.
Yeah, but...
Is it like me, like, when I talk too fast?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that, like, he talks normal, but, like, it's just because it's a normal speed. Whereas, like, when you get excited or anybody else gets excited, usually their voice quickens because
it's like,
you're, like, so...
Yeah.
You gotta share.
Maybe he's just weird and his voice is like that.
Well, I mean... Okay, I don't really hate him, so, like, we can stop talking about him. I just...
You don't want to get blocked on Twitter?
Well, I was just thinking that, like, we don't follow him on Twitter. We should.
I do.
I meant the podcast. Follow us in reference to.
Fun stuff.
Also, you're welcome. The last episode I posted, I edited you saying, send us an email correctly.
That's a rarity.
Well, yeah, that's why I had to edit it. You're
like, I have to find one.
Well, no, you were just like, email us at, or no, you said in reference to podcast@gmail.com. Send us anything. Like, the way you said it was easy to edit, but, like, I knew you said it wrong.
There's no podcast in it.
No, there is.
There is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just funny because I say, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and then you go, and send us an email. Like, it just needs to be, send us an email at.
I'll eventually get it right. We're only, 60-some episodes in?
Right. This was 64? 2?
Okay. Whenever they were in the one hallway, an EVP was caught saying, "You wanna play?"
No. The fuck I don't.
No. They also caught a female moaning in pain in the basement.
Was it me?
They caught an outline of a person in the infrared photo that Zach said he also saw with his own eyes. An EVP said, "It must be told, and I'll tell them you did it." And this was, like, in the area where the double, I can't say double today. Where the double homicide happened. Zach went to the second floor above the chapel and exposed his tattoos to see if he would be scratched. They caught an EVP saying "suffer," followed by "it's sick." And the Ovula said "soul" after Zach took his shirt off, and he has a demonic, like, tattoo from an experience that he had. Then they also had the words "listen" and "think" come through. And then when they they asked to think about what, it said Jesus.
That's gonna be the demon that fucking haunts you.
Think about Jesus. I don't want to. While walking through the hall, they caught an EVP saying, "Don't go in the bathroom." So they obviously immediately looked for the bathroom.
Of course.
But it's different. They didn't leave Aaron by himself. They left Zach in there by himself. They left him alone, and a light anomaly came down, and, like, it looked like it went, like, into his back. And then poor Aaron did get sent down to the basement by himself. And he caught an EVP saying, "Hurry," and then "hide."
Ew.
And he's like, "Hide! What's coming?" And he's like, "I'm done. I'm going back up." But that is the Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
Fun. I guess. I don't know. For you people that like spooky things.
I like spooky things. Speaking of spooky things, if you have any scary stories.
Oh, wow, we're just going straight into it. That's it. End of. All right. Well.
Send us an email at inreference2podcast@gmail.com.
Yes, please make Heather's life. And you can follow us on Instagram at inreference2podcast, on Twitter at inreference2. We also now have a YouTube channel that whenever I get a chance, I upload videos to.
When you have like a 5-hour time.
Yeah, it's taken a hot ass minute. What am I on? I think I'm on episode 17. And if you want, you can help support us on Patreon at patreon.com/inreference2. You can join the Punny 20 if you want. I mean, you don't have to, but Heather thinks she'll send out puns if you do join, so.
She doesn't think, she knows. I got an arsenal of puns.
Alright, and until next time.